Sometimes you have to know when to leave situations. That's the bottom line about this video today, whatever it may be. It could be relationships, guys, the lady you're dealing with, ladies, the guy you're dealing with, that job, where you live, your home, your location. Sometimes you have to know when it's time to stop it. Lesson is learned in terms of leaving other people, leaving certain friends, and when it's just time for when it comes to like a career path, when it's time to navigate and go do your own thing, start your own business, or go to another company, whatever the case may be, and when it's time to relocate, change the scenery. You can't keep living at the same address. It's time to move on. And everybody doesn't necessarily realize when it's that time. They don't look at the signs, the red flags. Some are scared to leave the situation. It feels safe, it feels comfortable. But we have to, pace ourselves and get over that. Really just take some time to sit on the couch at your home, turn off all the music, decompress, and then really see, okay, what's next? Where do I go from here? And why do I keep going back over there? We have to really test ourselves and see what's pulling us in that direction. Is it still something else there left to learn? It could be. Are you learning it, or is it just a continuous loop with specific people, with that job, even at home that you stay at? Why are you still living there? What's keeping you there when it's time to move? Is it the neighbors? What's the deal? It could be finances. You just don't have it to move, and that's understandable. But when it comes to jobs, or more specifically actual people, friends, or whoever you're dating, when it's time to move around, that doesn't cost any money. It's free to start swapping people in and out. It doesn't cost a thing. And sometimes we get too comfortable, and sometimes we don't know where we're going to meet somebody new at. And so you keep these friends because they'll invite you to a barbecue or a birthday or a children's birthday. You just want to be able to have some place to be invited to. You want to be liked. You want to be at the gathering, at the event. You can't sit home for 5 days straight and just be your own company, just be you. You can be by yourself and enjoy your own company without any outside, And there's nothing wrong with going outside to be in the company of others, but can you sit at home, even for a whole week, 2 weeks, and just be, with a capital B and a capital E? No outside anything. And can you do that? Have you made it there yet? Or do you need to go take a smoke break, or you need to go pour yourself something to drink, some wine or whatever, or a cognac or vodka? You have to. You just can't do it. And the world is stressing you out. They mess with you at your job, and you still don't really know how to circumvent all of that or get around it, and how to, pick it apart, unpack it so it can stop, whatever the case may be, stuff outside your job, other sources that are bothering you, messing with you, all of that, and you don't know how to quite pick it apart. You probably haven't sat down and really thought about it, or when you are thinking about it, you got weed in your hand or some alcohol, and so it's distorting your whole thought process because you aren't just naturally, just without any influences, drugs or otherwise. You just have some water, quietness, and time to think and meditate about why I'm getting messed with, why I'm still going with those friends, why I still want them to invite me to the get together, why I can't just sit by myself on my back porch, why you keep going back over to that man's house, lady, or guys, why you keep going back over to that lady's house, or why you keep coming over to your home. All of those things. You still ain't sat down and just been able to process so you can move on in what the universe wants you to do. You still keep going back over there. And then for whatever reason you don't understand, sometimes you don't even go over there on your own accord. It's them people asking you, hey, what you doing? And then they invite you over, and then you accept. Why are they still even hitting you up, trying to bring you back over there? What is it that they want out of you that they're not getting? Because the situation obviously isn't working, but one of you all keeps sending, hey, WYD. For what? You still don't know how to leave situations when it's time. You can be cool with those people and see them here and there, but it may be time to kind of really cut down on the seeing these people each month. You need to let some months go by and then see them, on a flyby or whatever, like, hey, it's been a minute. And talk it up, chat, and then, that's it. They may say, hey, I'm having a little kickback. You can swing by that, but you won't continue to be around them every month. Hey, we got this going on, we got that going on. No, it's time to detox from that situation and know when it's time to leave. Everybody doesn't know when it's time to leave, then you got others that do. But it's comfortable staying. It's easy. People don't want to meet anybody new and try and learn them, and I understand that part, because some of the new people out here may be a pain, they might be weird, and you know what you're getting with your current situation, at least. But those current situations can stress you out, especially if it's constant arguing going on with you and your friends, or guys with that lady or ladies with that guy, or what you feel that you're not getting, or what you feel you deserve based on your current situation. You're making more money now, all of this, and you want your lifestyle, everything to match. But what else is it that you're missing for the reason people won't match that lifestyle or give you that lifestyle, or for you to be around those type of people who you feel you should be rubbing elbows with? Either way, you still get who you are, even when you leave the situation. You can't just leave the situation, you have to leave you, because it's you the reason why. That's who you got laying next to you in your bed. That's who inviting you to those parties, those friends. Those people are you. And then that frustrates a lot of people. They're just looking at this person and saying, how is that me? How I even got a child with this person? How did that happen? You. Why we even got a child together? How did this happen? What was I thinking? But you have to rewind and look at how things were before the child came, and were there any red flags? Sometimes they're not. And then the time for it to end comes after the fact. Sometimes love just dies. The love you got for friends, or the in love that you have with whoever you with, or even more so have a child with. And so now it's just respect there, hopefully, and you always care, but you're no longer in love with that person, and you're no longer with the friends. You just maybe no longer love those friends anymore. The friendship has run its course. Still respect them, but sometimes love just dies. And I didn't come up with that. I used to watch this show called Boy Meets World in the 1990s with Corey Matthews, and he was dating Topanga, and Topanga was having cold feet about her and Corey's relationship because of what her mom and dad were going through, divorce and all of that. And Corey in this episode, he's coming, actually trying to get her parents back together, and he's got her Topanga's mother and father there, and he's saying to the husband, man, go talk to Topanga's mother. And then Topanga's mother's like, he can't because he got another lady. And then he's looking at her dad saying, why would you do that? Why would you go mess with another woman when you got her? And Corey just couldn't understand it. And her mother said, I believe it was her mother who said, sometimes love just dies. That's just what it is. Now, that wasn't the case with him and Topanga, but people, relationships get affected by their mom and dad as well. So Topanga seeing her parents on the outs made her nervous about what her and Corey had going on. They were solid, but she don't want to, in the future, have to deal with her and Corey possibly going their separate ways. But it's all a lesson, and yeah, it is a risk. You can't let what your parents did or didn't do in terms of the relationship not working out to have you in fear of, that next person. Even who you might be dealing with now, whatever it is, it may not even be officially a relationship. You all just around each other, spending the night, but you even scared to step out of that situation because you still are afraid of the unknown, this next new person that I have to meet and get to know and ask them their first and last name, a whole nother cycle of repeating itself. And then especially if you a father or you a mother, now you have to be even more careful because you have to see, should I have this person around my son, my daughter? And so that makes people stay in situations too. Start over, this new person, yeah. But it's a class. Same thing with that job, you don't want to try and apply and this new thing or even start your own thing because you're comfortable here, but it's probably best that you do. You don't want to move because you don't want to have to deal with new neighbors and learning the new address, the new location in your new state, but sometimes it's time to go to the next state. You've been where you at 7 years, 8 years too long. It's time to go. Know when to leave the situation. Please know when to leave. And that's, a lot of times where we go wrong at. You so comfortable with the tried and true, as they call it, and you just, that feels good. It still irks you and it has its issues, but you're like, okay, this is what I know. This is the hurt I know. This is the pain that I know. But you don't know what's going to happen beyond that when you go to start your own business and leave the company you're with or just jump to another company or a complete career change. You a lawyer, now you want to drive trucks. New address, learning the new lay of the land of the new city that you're in, and not having anybody that you know there. That's the other thing. The friends and family back in that last city. Now you somewhere else where everybody is a stranger. And that's not a bad thing. It just makes you have to reevaluate any and everybody as you continue to attract these people who are still going to be you. You still are going to get who you are no matter where you move to. That's how the universe works. You are a Wi-Fi signal. You turn on Wi-Fi to say available wireless networks and think of that as you, your body, and everybody that's around you. Those are the available networks. You can connect to all of them. Some are farther out of reach than others, so the signal might not be that strong when you try and connect to it, but the closer you get, then you get 5 bars, So that's just comparing Wi-Fi to your own real life, and that's exactly what everybody is. You are a Wi-Fi signal, and you broadcast, and you see everybody that's you that's available. Now, again, like I said before, people see what's available and don't like the options that they have to connect to. But this is you. This is all you have. In order for your signal to pick up something different, you have to change and go into within reach of, others that are of a like mind, same thought process. People like being around like-minded people, but when you feel that you've changed and you still getting the same players, there's still some more shadow work that you have to do, the inner work, in order to completely change your signal. So now what's available is a completely different setup. But a lot of people are afraid to do that. A lot of people don't know how to change them in order to get different. And they unsatisfied with their current group of friends, dating options, all of that. But all of that is you, those friends, the person that you lay next to, or maybe you don't lay next to, you laid next to, and then they go home, whatever the case may be, whatever you're doing, even if it's not serious, those people are still you and you are them. And you might not like that. As you feel you've leveled up, I'm getting this now, I'm successful, but only in certain areas. You don't have the full circle of it like you feel you should, because you've leveled up in certain areas, maybe only financially, or just with your materials. The vehicle looks like this now, even changing location, okay, the house looks like this now, you want everything to match. But you still get the same people, you still get the same results. That's because you haven't leveled up internally. You haven't dealt with any unresolved childhood issues. People say they've forgiven their parents, but then they still angry. So have you really forgiven them? They didn't instill certain things in you that you felt you needed as a child, and now it's too late, especially if they've gone to the other side. And so it's a lot in terms of what people feel they should deserve in a situation. And that's why they're not able to leave it, because they don't know what they're supposed to be getting, because they haven't done the self-work. They have a vision of it. They watch movies and they watch Instagram and feel like, hey, I should have that too. Now maybe you should, maybe it's not time, maybe you're not ready for it. You don't even prepare to get that, even if you did have it. Still more inner work that has to be done in order for you to leave those situations. And that'll tell you when it's time to leave. No one's going to have to tell you when to leave a situation. You'll feel it. You will feel it. The reason that you don't, because everything is cloudy. You don't know how to sit and just be. Turn off the music, mute the TV. No alcohol, no wine, no beer, no weed, no cigarettes. All that's going to cloud your judgment. You just need to sit and be. Sit in your living room. Sit on your front porch. Then you'll learn how to really put things in perspective, and then you'll know when it's time to leave that situation. You might have to go back to the situation a couple of times to get what you're missing as well. The situation is not necessarily done with you. So you're trying to leave it too quick, you just wind right back up in that scenario with that person, that company, all of that. And if you're trying to start a business, it won't allow you, because you still got some things you need to learn while working for somebody else, or just switching careers, period. You still got something you got to get from, your current job and your current friends, all of that. But you'll feel it when it's time to leave a situation, but you do have to leave. And some people who refuse to let go and leave too late, or it should have been left but still there, you're going to miss out on the next location, and that's going to be a problem. Because now what's available is not going to be the best, because you waited too long in this. And the reason you waited too long, because you're not doing the inner work that's going to tell you when it's time to leave. Some of you all could have been out of your situations, and guys could have had the lady he want, ladies could have had the man that she want, could have been in the house that you want, in whatever location that is, had you all just done the inner work to begin with. But sometimes it's hard. You try and escape by going on vacations and by drinking alcohol and smoking. You try and Sometimes, if you're already a parent, that hinders things because you're trying to raise them, so that makes it even harder. So you don't have that me time, especially when you don't have nobody who can, watch your child for you, so you can have some time to just decompress in adult time to get ready to make your next move and bring your child along. So you get stuck in this same cycle, the same hamster wheel, because you haven't learned how to leave the situation. You have to know when to leave, but you have to have the ability to leave, and people don't have that. And so they complain and complain. And you have men out here saying these women ain't nothing, and women out here saying these men are nothing. And I'm saying to them, okay, then that's what you're going to attract, since that's what you keep saying. And even when you get one that is about something, that won't work either, because whoever it is, that lady don't fit what that man feels he should get, or that man don't fit what that lady feels she could get. All of these men and women out here have a vision board in their head of the lady he wants to be with and the man she wants to be with. Problem is, who they're visualizing is nothing like them. You're going to get who you are. The people who you keep trying to attract are not you. You could attract that, but you probably don't even know exactly what you want. You might just be looking for wine and dine, or someone that's just cool, someone to go out of town with, and you basically turns into I'm cute, you cute, this is fun. But that only lasts for so long. If you want whoever you're envisioning, whatever that person may be, then there's certain things you have to cut out. What you do, where you go, what you watch, what you listen to, what you eat, in order just to clear out your whole palette. And so now you have clarity. You know when it's time to change addresses, it's time to start my business, or just move to a different company. Any of these situations. And it's time to go let your children go live with the other parent if you all aren't together anymore. Because it's time for, once they get a certain age, got to go live with dad. Normally that's how the case may be. And they're already living with mom. And then you continue to parent that way. If that's the case, Don't overstay your welcome. Mentally nor physically. Don't overstay your welcome. People are doing that. And, they don't know how to get out. They see what they want, but it changes a lot too. And they chasing it. And it still can't quite yet reach out and grab it. It's very fast, and it's evading you at every turn. You just not quick enough. So, know when to leave. You want to figure out when to leave? Know how to sit and just be. Sit in the kitchen. I'm sitting in the kitchen. Quiet your mind. Don't mute the TV, cut off the music, mute the music, put down the cigarette, beer, weed, vodka, cognac, tequila, whatever that may be. Just have your water. Then it'll come to you. And you can't just do that just for today. You might have to do it for the next 7 days and then the next week without any of that. And if you feel, man, I just can't, I need to come home and have some wine, then you probably have other things going on. Until you can just be without anybody else around. Don't text anybody to see what they doing or to come over or for you to come over there. You just be. Then, you're going to stay stuck in those situations. And there's a lot of people who have stayed far beyond what they were supposed to do. Some of you all have stayed too long to where you got children out of the situation, and the children shouldn't have even been there. You should have been gone. But now you've extended your stay. All because you didn't understand yourself. You haven't done the inner work. And so now you got to deal with the consequences. And the people outside don't care what you're dealing with. And if you take that out on them, they're going to take it back out on you or just leave you alone. Whatever you feel you deserve or envision because you've leveled up, that's a personal problem. Do the self-work, the shadow work, and then you'll really level up. You won't even talk about it. You won't even say, well, I'm making these moves or I'm getting this now. You know, you keep running down your resume. There's no need to talk. People will feel you. Problem is you don't understand how to feel yourself just yet and what makes you go. You still figuring out things. So it's all a lesson. But know when to leave. And learn how to just sit and quiet your mind first. Or with only water. Then the answers to your questions will come, whether you like it or not. So that's it for now. Like, share, and subscribe to the channel. Facts or Feelings, all one word, no spaces. Put that in the YouTube search, Facts or Feelings, and my channel comes right up. And let me know down in the comments, are you still stuck in your situation? Or did you finally leave? And how's life now? What has the effect been since you figured out how to leave? And how did you leave? You might put that down in the comments. You might be able to help others who see this video who trying to leave a situation. And go from there. Let's all help each other out. Share your experiences down there in the comments. Other than that, I'm out. I'm leaving.